Hello, friends, and welcome back to Rogue Republic. I'm joined by the lovely Rachel, who is that way. Sorry, my ear is pointing at the wrong side of the screen. For a playthrough of the brand new game, Witchhazel Woods, which dropped on Friday. Hello, Rachel. Oh, I am as well. I know we were talking before we went live about how I've been waiting basically all weekend to play this game, but I've been very, very good and not decided to play this game before tonight, so I have no idea what's going on. But yeah, how has launch gone? Oh, brilliant. I was gonna that's amazing. And obviously, for those people that have yet to watch it, Rachel is a returning guest of the channel because we had a lovely chit chat. Apparently, Rachel can't be heard. Why can't Rachel be heard? Oh no. It's on my end. I know it's on my end. Why is it on my end? Bear with us, folks. We'll be right back. And we're back. Sorry about that. Streamlabs had a moment, which is pretty to do. But yes, as I was saying, we're back with Rachel. And Rachel did a lovely intro, which Rachel's now going to have to try and remember and repeat because technical problems be tech problems. But yeah, welcome, Rachel. Welcome back, Rachel, rather.
I'm super stoked to be here. And all I said was that launch weekend has been pretty wild. It's my first game. It's been a joy to watch people stream the game. I've been really enjoying getting the feedback, and when I watch streams and I see people having a good time and having reacting to all the fun stuff I put into the game, it's just been so rewarding after working on the game for a long time to see people finally playing it. So super
Absolutely.
excited.
And obviously we've been keeping an eye. Apologies, by the way, if you can see my desktop right now, people. I've just realised I need to turn things back on. There we go. That's right, there were OBS problems and there were Zoom problems. We're sorted. Cool. Yeah, no, because obviously, you've been working on this game for ages. We had a lovely chat last autumn about the game when we were talking about this before before we went live, actually, where the name changed because you had this kind of working title, and then you landed on Witchhazel Woods, which is a magnificent title.
Thank you.
And yeah, so let's get cracking because obviously, really excited to have you on back to do this Dev-Play. We're not going to play the entire game as well. So if you're sitting there worried ever so slightly about, I don't want to know what the ending is, we're not going to play the whole game. We're going to play a chunk of it. Rachel gave me a heads up on a point to get to before a kind of like a part of the game that we're going to stop at. So if you are sitting there thinking, I really want to play this game, but I don't want any kind of like major story spoilers and ending spoilers, don't worry, you're not going to get any of that because we are going to stop before the end, and then when the stream's all done and wrapped up and stuff, I'm then going to finish it. Yeah.
Sounds good.
And we've got questions in the chat as well. Editor Callie has asked, how was launching something on Steam, Rachel? Kind of like, what's the Cliff Notes process of it? Which I can imagine is a lengthy explanation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure different people have different experiences. The Steam aspect wasn't the hardest part for me. The main thing is that they require a lot of different like graphical assets that takes a bit of time to pull together. But they make it pretty easy on you. I had to, go through approval on my store page a few times because they just, had little criticisms and stuff that I had to address. But I'd say the hard part in terms of like publishing a game, more so than anything having to do with Steam, has been just kind of compatibility issues with like all the different platforms, like especially Apple has been a challenge. So, that's kind of something to sort through, especially, towards the end when you've already been kind of going for it for a really long time. It can be a tough slog right at the end there, but we got through it for the most part, and we're out, so.
And we are out, and we are good to go. And likewise, if you've got any questions for Rachel in the chat during the process of the stream, then please do chuck them in. Because I'm sure Rachel would love to hear them, as well as any really cool feedback, because this game does look amazing, and I've been wanting to play it since we first had that chatbot back in the autumn.
Thanks so much, yeah.
And the music as well. I know we spoke about this before we went live, but the music is just amazing.
Thanks so much. Music was one of the most fun parts for me.
Doesn't it feel good to just get off the grid for a minute, Georgia? Oh, the dog. I love the dog sound effect.
Freesound.org. Blessing the game devs.
Absolutely. Really needed this. Did you need this? The dog definitely needed this. You can see it. That chilled dog vibe is like, yes, I needed to chill.
I figure who doesn't love a dog in a game, right?
I know, right? They are literally a human's best friend for a reason. I love that. What do you have to be stressed about? You're a dog. Lots of things like, when am I going to eat? When do I get belly rubs? Oh, Georgia stares at you uncomprehendingly. Amazing. Getting restless.
You can pet the dog, yes. Saw that someone asked that in the chat.
I was going to say, I just glanced at the chat.
No, that's a very important feature for any game containing a dog.
Oh, absolutely. Whoops, went a little long that one. I love the little animations and stuff in the corner as well, like the little profile pictures, if you will.
Thank you. I thought it would be fun to do like a few different variations on the portrait with some different emotions.
Oh, absolutely. I've got another question from Alex in the chat. What was the inspiration behind this game, Rachel? Was this a concept that you had in the long run?
No, this was, I really came at this backwards because I decided I wanted to make a game before I had an idea for a game. So, yeah, after the point at which like I was like, wow, I really would like to make a game. I just spent a few weeks kind of like gathering inspiration, and the main inspiration was actually this like local park near where I lived up until recently. This park is just like nature trails, but also like old abandoned buildings that are all graffitied and stuff, and it just had like a very particular vibe that I found really cool. So that's kind of what I was going for with this.
And it is just gorgeous.
Thank you.
Like, all of the artwork and stuff. Our editor Callie has just said the music is very chill, very much enjoying it. And obviously you created all the music for this game yourself.
Yeah, that was super fun, and that's that part was pretty new to me. I hadn't really done music composition before, but I enjoyed it a lot.
Oh, have I got a choice? Oh, oh, there's a choice. Oh, why do I feel like I've gone the wrong way? It's fine. Ah, oops! I accidentally clicked out a window. Clever.
I was afraid it had just crashed or something.
No, I just clicked. Accidentally just clicked on YouTube. I actually very nearly almost put someone in timeout from the chat for no reason. Then, there we go. Right, and now YouTube's gone all weird. Apologies. Ah, cool. We found Georgia.
By the way, if you want to avoid the possibility of clicking out, you can do like keyboard controls as well. I actually think the keyboard controls work a little bit better than the mouse controls.
Oh, we're going to play this with keyboard, and we're going to play this on keyboard now. Ah, ghost. Ah, okay. Dylan and I are on the same page. Just ghost. It looks kind of sad. Loving the little 3 bits of hair on the top of his head as well. Yes, yes, shock and awe, etc. I've been dead for 200 years, I've heard it all. Sounds so just like done with everything. She's like, yeah, alright, I'm a scary ghost, come on. So obviously, when you were kind of working on the game and stuff, because you made this using Game Maker, which is a brilliant little engine. I remember back in when we were talking in the autumn about the kind of spookiness, the kind of pseudo-Halloween vibes that we're getting from this, which I love, by the way. It's never too early for Halloween. Have you added any more of that? Because I know we kind of talked about some of the different kind of like creatures and stuff in the game. Are there any surprises in store for me, but since we spoke in the autumn?
When we spoke, I had pretty much kind of like storyboarded the entire game at that point, so there's not a whole lot that has changed in that time. I will say there are things that I tried not to show prior to release, just because I didn't want to spoil all the best parts. So there's probably still surprises in here for you.
Love it. Because I do, to be fair. It's like, I go onto Twitter, I open it up, and there's like, you know, I've been really, over the last few months, I've been looking, and there have been just little updates about the game, and I've just been like, I need to play this, need to play this, need to play this. And now here we are. Another question from editor in the chat, editor Callie in the chat. This is based, so the area this is based on is actually deep dark woods like this, and also, do you camp in?
No, I would say it's not deep dark woods. It's definitely more of like the kind of nature park you find in cities. So I took a little bit of creative license with that for the game. And you don't camp there. We would just kind of visit for a walk. So definitely creative license on that part.
I think it's really nice that you kind of went to this park, because I remember the story from our interview about you went to this park whilst we were all facing, you know, the terrors of 2020, and just from that you were just kind of like, this is a really awesome place, and then from that just kind of birthed this really awesome looking game, which
thank you.
It's just so fun, and I can't believe our dog is about to get dog-napped by a ghost.
Pretty rude, right?
I know. I'm like, you can't just take my dog, let me by. Ah! Oh well. Okay then. Oh, he's a lonely ghost.
Yeah.
Eva has just said, no worries if you don't camp, Riku is camp enough for all of us. Thanks, Eva. As ever. Maybe we can make a trade if you have any other ideas for dealing with this terrible solitude. But when Georgia found me and tried to lick my face, oh, what a good dog. I Callie's also said in terms of the taking creative license stuff, entirely fair. Wasn't sure what part of the US you are in, and no, there are some super big woodlands there. To be honest, working out a sharing system with the ghost would be fair. Everyone deserves a dog. Everyone's loving Georgia the dog licking the ghost's face, by the looks of it. Offer the twig. I mean, is a ghost gonna want a twig? Probably not. Rachel's gonna give me no help with the cyber chat, just for the why. So we're just gonna go with my stupid logic, which will be, we'll figure something else out. Not much I can do with a twig. Okay. Stick it to the ghost. Offer the twig. The chat is yelling at me saying that I need to offer the stick to the ghost. The ghost is not going to be happy with the stick. The twig is going to get the ghost all riled up. He'll probably smack me with it. Okay, I'll trade you in exchange for my dog. I'll give you this twig. Oh, that's brilliant.
It's not the best trade, is it?
I mean,
a dog for a twig.
I like the fact that he's just sassing. That is so good. When you were writing the kind of like characters and stuff for the game, Park Ranger. When you were kind of like coming up with some of the characters and stuff, did you kind of have like specific archetypes in mind, or did you kind of just think, or was it kind of more personality focused? Because I know some people, when they kind of approach characters, they decide to kind of like use archetypes. Other people kind of tend to think more about like the personalities of the character. Kind of like, what was your thinking, or was it just a mismatch?
Yeah, some of the characters just like came to me really easily, and I just knew exactly what I wanted their personality to be like. Others, I had to definitely like workshop some stuff. Yeah. There's a Great Blue Heron character in the game, for example, and I just had the hardest time figuring out what he was gonna be like. I like tried so many different things, and then what I landed on for him was he was just like kind of a hypochondriac, which ended up just working great. That was fun in the end, but yeah, it was kind of a matter of like trying to write the dialogue, and then if I just felt like it wasn't working, I would just try something else.
Which is often some of the best ways to get really good dialogue and really good characterization. Actually, sometimes it is just to kind of be like, actually, do you know what? Oh, the ants are back. Ah, they're talking to me. Did not expect that. We got another question in the chat as well. You got loads of questions, Rachel. This is a relatively important one. Is Georgia based on a real dog? And then the follow-up question to that is, and can I have her? Asking for a ghost.
She's not actually. She is a yellow lab, and I don't think I actually know anybody who has a yellow lab. It's just a breed of dog that I think is very cute.
They are adorable.
And I wish I could give you Georgia, but alas, she is only pixels on the screen.
I mean, there is something about labs that is just, they are just those dogs that you look at and just think, dog. Like you say the word dog, and most people conjure the image of a lab or a retriever. I've never talked to an ant before, having lots of firsts today, actually.
Yeah, I wanted to pick a breed of dog that's got like the very smiley face.
Yeah. Absolutely. We need a bridge. Off a twig. Place the twig across the water. Way, we saved the ants. Oh, shocked. Okay, we've got some trash. Excellent.
It's very useful.
I mean, I'm looking at the cigarette butt thinking, maybe the ghost will, maybe the ghost just has an unfortunate nicotine habit. I don't think that's going to be the case, I'm going to be brutally honest. Can we get this way? Nope. Okay. So we've got some trash. Can we talk to the bird? I do like these little background animation birds.
Yeah.
They are really nice. Just little bits of detailing like that is what I really enjoy when I'm playing through kind of like point and click adventures.
Yeah. It was really exciting when I got to the end of like all of the things that needed to be in the game, because then getting to spend time on the little extra details was very gratifying.
Oh, they've even got little triggers to fly away when you walk near them. That's so cool. Yeah, there is nothing in the clearing area, is there? I would apologise, Rachel. This tends to be how normally things go on a stream with me. I'm like, let's go this way, let's go that way, let's go this way, let's go that way. Right,
I'm like really hardcore about like having to explore everywhere when I play games, so totally understand.
People work hard on games, as you and I both very much know, and therefore it's important to see as much of it as you can. Just glance at the chat. In response to the Georgia is just a set of pixels, you were asked, you have been offered the trade of Georgia's NFT for a twig.
Oh damn! I haven't minted any NFTs yet in my time.
I mean, the way that's going, I don't think anyone plans on doing it at all. Aha! Proved that we were trustworthy with the park ranger. Nice. Right. Onwards. Ooh! There's a bat on the floor. I love bats. They are seriously misunderstood creatures.
Really? They can be cute.
I like the fact as well.
Are you?
Little animations. No, I was just reading the text.
Okay.
Giving the chat time to read the
like
text.
So paranoid someone's gonna like find a bug on stream.
Absolutely not. I'm sure there are no bugs in this game.
Oh, I am a perfect programmer. I have never released a bug before, so...
I remember a couple of months back when you were talking about doing like when you did debug sessions and stuff, and you were just like, I think there was worse the effect of, I have done about 2 weeks of debugging on this game. I think I've earned myself a little break.
Oh, yeah. It gets rough just playing your own game over and over and over again. It's not fun anymore after a certain point.
Okay, we need to find some food for the bat. Like that up there. Which is out of reach. Can the crow help us? Hello, Rooney. Rodney, even. Oh, I can't read. That was embarrassing. I'm just gonna shout Core of the bird. Another important question. A big question. Our development process is long and hard. Now that you're at the end of the journey for this game, what was the most challenging part of the process for you? Funnily enough, I asked you that exact question back in the autumn.
Yeah. I mean, there have been several big challenges. I would say overall, just like the sheer volume of work involved in making a game when you are wearing every hat yourself was a big part of it. I did not expect this to take me 2 years to make. It's a pretty small, simple little game, but all of the art assets, all of the music, all of the writing, that gets to be a lot. And then, yeah, I mean, I already complained about this once, but man, Apple does not make it easy for you to publish software for their computers, so that was a big challenge as well.
I suppose, yeah, I know that we talked about the Apple thing before, but there is so much that goes into making a game, regardless of size and scope. Like, writing and art, music, just so much, and then you have to actually make it work. Well, and then making it work is often the most frustrating bit in my very limited experience. I found that making it work is the bit where I sit there and go, okay, so why doesn't it do what it should do?
Yeah, there's that. There's the fact that I, write code all day for my full-time job, and then this was my side project at night, so that gets to be a lot of your time spent writing code, and like cooped up in your house during a pandemic. It's a little tough to juggle.
Absolutely. I've just realised that I've just been told by what I assumed was a fruit bat that he doesn't like plums. And I'm kind of aghast.
That's the correct reaction.
And Editor Callie just said that, the ranger's now going to be pissed because we've just given the key to the crow.
There actually is some dialogue that you can uncover with the park ranger where she gets pissy with you over that.
Oh my god, we're going to go back and we're going to do that in a second. Aw, Petunia the skunk. Yeah, you didn't want the plum, Petunia. Okay, so we can come back to Petunia. We're going to go talk very quickly to the park ranger and probably get told off.
Trying to remember what the exact conditions are for that
Given
dialogue.
The crow
I'm not sure. Not sure if you'll be able to access it yet. You can try.
We'll give it a pun.
I've like forgotten my own coding.
Nope, enjoy the park. Okay, so it's going to be slightly further down the line. Which is fine. We now have a secondary goal on top of trying to get our dog back from a ghost.
Something I would love to like get visibility into is like how much people are uncovering like some of the little hidden dialogues that have like special conditions. I didn't program any way into the game to like send me those stats or anything, so I wish I had.
A 1.01 update, just a little patch. The chat is also loving the plum out of snacks to offer comment.
Thank you.
That did tickle me, and the chat is loving it. As Andra said, the game's dialogue is adorable, and it is. It is absolutely adorable, and it's really well written, actually.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, we're not gonna. Can't get through the door. Okay. Can Petunia open the door for us? Ah, we have a snake friend. I don't know why, but because he said a pet, I just imagined it in like a kind of like Cockney British accent. Just this snake rocking up going, a pet. And I'm like, not even Cockney, just Northern.
If I ever get this voice acted, I'll need to make sure to
get a Yorkshireman to do Jerry the Snake.
I'll make that happen.
I make a great crowbar. Oh, that's brilliant. That is so good.
Thank you.
This is just great. We're using Jerry the Snake as a crowbar to open the door to the spooky house. 10 out of 10.
Thank you.
Best game ever. Editor Callie's said, have you kind of looked into getting the game onto Xbox or PlayStation?
Yeah, that's a thing I could do. Game Maker. I don't currently have the Game Maker license that lets you export for consoles, but you can with that engine. Gotta admit, right now I do not have energy for more like fighting through compatibility issues with different platforms, but it is a possibility in the future.
That would be really cool, actually, to see this pop up on console. But then, to be fair, I'm just liking playing through on PC as well. But I know kind of like there are some myths around how difficult it is to get games on console as well. I know that when I was one of my uni lecturers actually this year said it's very difficult to get it on consoles, but then I know that myself and editor Callie have looked into just how difficult it could be, and it's like you get a list of things that you have to do, but it's not like exhaustive. It's kind of one of those weird things.
Yeah, I can only imagine, because you know, even just different you know, computer operating systems have posed a significant challenge, and then from there to console is a bigger leap. So
yeah, and obviously you have to probably look at locking flame frame rates and stuff. Bro, you scared the shit out of me. I love the fact that he's scared and he's still just like, oh, I'm so scared, but I'm going to continue doing graffiti. But I'm so scared. Graffiti. Weird name for a girl. Kind of rude, to be fair. Alright, what's your name? Because at the moment I'm just calling you, is it also Dylan? Alex the chat just said Disney haven't written animals this well. I'm assuming that's meant to just be haven't written animals out ever, sort of thing. And they're loving it. Hello, Chris. I'm gonna knock. I'm liking how Chris has got slightly, like, each of the animals and like the humans have got slightly different typefaces as well for how they're speaking. It's really cool.
Yeah, not everybody has their own custom font, but a few key characters I decided to do that with.
Alright, hands off my pizza. Okay. I mean, I did deserve that. I was trying to steal his food. Ooh. Petunia the skunk is back. Who's coming? We've now got spooky music as well. Oh, it's the giant deer skeleton. Yes!
It's time. This was the single hardest art asset in the game.
I bet. I mean, just the animations and stuff on everything on it.
Yeah, took a long time.
I love the fact that he should have called him with some really cool font. I've got 3 dots or 3 dots. Let's go with the 3 dots. Just had... Oh my god, it's him as in the band. Love it. Got what I needed. I've just noticed as well, like all the different colour changes of the plants and stuff in the background while all the weird, scary stuff is going on. Did you, when you were animating the skeleton deer, or him, as I should probably refer to him, was it a case of animating each kind of individual bone for the movements and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, if you look closely, you can see that I was a little bit lazy, and it really is mostly just his legs that are moving during the walk cycle. But yeah, each bone in the leg is moving separately. And I am brand new to animation. This game is the first time that I've really done any animation, so that was diving in the deep end. But luckily, I had already done quite a few other characters before I got to this one, so got some experience under my belt that way.
Nice. It's really cool animations as well. I like the kind of, you've got that kind of, that movement from kind of like on the lower, like each of the joints in the legs just looks really nice.
Thank you.
Right.
Full credit out there goes to the people who create the little images that come up when you Google like deer walk cycle frames, because that was key.
Oh god, I bet. What have we got? Sandra said the font for him is giving creepy vibes. Well done for that. Editor Callie said horrific, and I think we've got some blood for our vampire bat. Here's a vampire bat. Yes. Best type of bat. Love a fruit bat, but vampire bats. Best type.
For a spooky game, it's gotta be.
It's gotta be a
vampire bat.
Loving the fact that I'm classing this as the start of my Halloween. Which means I can officially start Halloweeny stuff now. And no, to the chat, that does not mean we're starting Stream Hine in August. Because editor Callie won't let me, basically.
I did just realize they can't see the inventory because I am covering the inventory.
I was going to say, should we move you? I'm going to move.
It's not a big
I'm going to
deal.
slowly move Rachel up here. And the game's going to disappear quickly because Streamlabs is. But we've got, down here, a little inventory. So you can see if I go back out, we've got a stake. Which people still can't see because I haven't hit the transition button. There we go. Bam.
Oh, wow.
There we go. And now Rachel's at the top of the screen.
Incredible. Magic.
Just adding more spooks to an amazingly spooky game. Magically moving Rachel. I don't know what we can do with the stake unless there's a vampire. Oh, mantis. I like how Dylan started off very much just like, what on earth is going on? And now she's just like, hello there, Mr. Mantis. She's just like, do you know what? They're giant talking bugs.
Just gotta like lean into it, you know, when you're in the weird woods. It's like, okay, this is just normal now.
This is just normal. Eva in the chat just said, pick the giant's toes with the stake. It's a possibility. I can't help but feel we might get squashed if he doesn't like it. Ah, Virgil the Mantis. How did you come up with the names for all these different... I just realised you're also now blocking some of the text.
Oh, shoot. I didn't think of that.
I didn't either. It's fine. I meant to, like, be on top of this. Right, right, Rachel's going to go there. Magical mystery teleporting Rachel again.
Yeah, the names, it was mostly kind of once I had developed the personality for the character. I don't know, they just kind of came to me. That's not a satisfying answer.
No, but it's the truth though, to be fair at times, you know, if you've built characters and personalities and stuff, and then just sitting there being like, that name kind of fits that personality.
Some of them have a little logic to them, like the ghost being Albert, you know, he's been dead for 200 years, so I was kind of like Googling for like old-timey sounding names. Virgil the Mantis is supposed to be old too, so I gave him an old-timey sounding name, but...
That is a really cool piece of artwork for the giant, just these towering legs and these two eyes with like this kind of outline. Oh, love it.
Thank you. I had a very clear image in my head of what I wanted that to look like, and then it was more difficult than I expected to like execute on it. But...
It looks fantastic though.
Thanks.
Kind of giving me Roald Dahl vibes. Kind of like the BFG
Oh, yeah.
kind of esque.
Big Friendly Giant, yeah. I loved those books when I was a kid.
Yeah, I have to admit, they're kind of like... I think they went out of fashion for a period of time. I was talking to one of my friends who's got a couple of kids, and they were like, oh yeah, no, they're reading Roald Dahl at the moment. I was like, good. So it's like weird, jaunty, mystical stuff, which is supernatural stuff, which is awesome. Always awesome. Awesome loud stuff. Okay, we can't use the stake on the giant or the mantis. Just gonna glance at the time. I am an arachnophobe. Having to talk to
Sorry.
a spider, I'm like, oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's a cutesy drawing one. It's like, you know, if it was like a more photorealistic spider, I'd be like, no, that spider's not being talked to.
One of the earliest things I did for the game was I just like came up with a list of like different animals and creatures that I thought would fit the vibe, and then I tried my best to work all of those in there. So, spooky black widow spider in my spooky game, you know.
Although, could she be considered an arachnid anymore, though? She's only got 7 legs.
Good point.
I love the random sassy you're throwing at the player here as well. It's just like, what's his name, Rodney? And then it's just like, you immediately feel silly for asking the question. Oh, damn my exoskeleton.
Apparently it was a very small wooden stick.
I was going to say, it must have been a diddy little stake, unless we kind of just took like a splinter off it. And now we've got a really cool tapestry. Can we talk to the owl on the tree? We can. Oh, I like Mr. Owl. That is like really cool animation and movements on him.
Thank you.
I like the kind of like telescopic eyes he's got going on.
Thanks. He has some of the more complex animations. Well, the animations themselves aren't complex, but the code for like switching between them, because he moves a little more randomly than most of the other characters in the game. So that was fun.
Oh, that's how I bet. I mean, I know that kind of like I don't know huge amounts of coding animation stuff other than like the basic little timeliney things you can do in Unreal and Unity. But I know that it's kind of like when you get the animations to work and it's been like in a real random fashion, it feels so satisfying to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the fact that I was just like, oh, what's he up to this time? What's he doing now?
Albert is notorious in these woods.
If this owl turns around and goes, oh yes, no, this isn't the first time he's tried to kidnap somebody's dog, I'm going to be like, so you know this is a problem and none of you are doing anything about it.
Man, I should have done that. That's funny.
That was helpful. Thanks, Mr. Owl. Just like, you know, tell him a story and he's just like, that, yeah, that's a riddle for sure. And then just is like, right, you can go now. Bye, I'm done with you. Off you go, human. What if there's a shark in this tiny pond? Kind of feel being mean to the heron is not going to be the best course of action. We're going to be like, good point. Remember when I was younger, I used to genuinely think there's like a big lake, like in the town where I lived. Genuinely used to think as a small child that if you went on a swan boat, you would get eaten by a shark. Until my dad had to point out that they are not freshwater fish, they are saltwater fish. And I was like, oh, well, that makes sense.
That's great. Kid logic.
Yep. So I'm completely on board with the heron being like, there might be a shark in this pond. Just trying to see if I've missed any questions in the chat. No, everyone is just chatting about the fact that apparently our editor Callie is afraid of owls. Owls are gorgeous, majestic creatures.
They do basically have like knives on their feet, so...
That is very true. They have very sharp talons.
They won't really use them on a human.
I know that we've got like a bird sanctuary-esque place near where I live.
Ooh.
You can go and just see all of these like gigantic, gorgeous, majestic birds and stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
Although I have to admit, over in the States you get much better variation. Like we've got some adorable birds and stuff, but all of our birds, and you get like teeny tiny birds. Over in the States you get big birds.
a few, yeah. Do you not have like hawks and stuff?
We do. We got hawks. We've got near where I live. We've had a lot. We've had more kites recently as well.
Ooh.
A couple of really nice
cool.
red kites, which are gorgeous creatures. But yeah, I remember being in America and seeing an eagle and just being like absolutely in awe of this gigantic bird and just being like, that is so amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a huge bird nerd. That's why there's so many birds in the game.
I think the birds are gorgeous. I was sitting in the garden earlier, had like a teeny tiny little, don't even know what it was. It was a small adorable brown thing, probably a finch to be fair. Just came in and landed on like a bench we've got in the garden, and then jumped off the bench onto the step, and then onto the grass, and then jumped back onto the step, and then flew away, and I was just so happy.
Just iconic. Yeah, you guys have the house sparrows, which we also have, but they're invasive here. But they're native where you are.
I had no idea they were invasive over in the States.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
I think I read once that some guy in like the 1800s was like, the US needs to have every bird that was ever in a Shakespeare play.
Yeah.
So we brought over like starlings and all this stuff, and now they're it's all this guy's fault. We have all these invasive birds.
Okay, Mr. Heron is still too scared. I talk to the frog. I've also just been told to stop talking about birds and play the game from our editor in the chat. But you know what? Maybe we want to talk about birds. There are lots of birds in this game.
You get me on a bird tangent. Might never stop.
Okay, we're gonna keep going to the right and... Ooh, very Alice in Wonderlandy. Or very Nightmare Before Christmas meets American Horror Story. They're probably not going to give me the skull if they're doing a ritual, but they might be able to help me reason with the ghost. So we're going to go with that. Great with that one. Oh, I like this. We have no interest in men's affairs. Broken men like Albert need a kind of help that we cannot provide. Amazing. Glancing at the chat, seeing if there are any more questions coming in. We are going to wrap this up in about 10 minutes, I think. So if you do have any more questions for Rachel about this amazing game, then please do make sure you chuck them in the next like 5 or 6 minutes. Otherwise, there is a chance that I will miss your question. Just wish you'd be willing to give it that skull. No, just keep comparing it to our ritual. It depends what it is, what we've got to offer. I have a tapestry. Okay, well, I don't want the tapestry then. There's a raccoon! Oh, damn, I need the... Ah, we should have kept the key. Should have kept the key. This is my problem with these games. I get something, I'm like, oh, you need, here is the key. And then I'm like, oh, I need that for later. Bugger. Bit of a niche question from Alex. I don't know if you've seen the film Hot Fuzz, but he has just asked if the scene with the witches was inspired by Hot Fuzz.
I don't think I've seen that movie, so no.
It's a Simon Pegg comedy film set in a little rural British town. But it kind of had this kind of like, there's a scene in it, I won't spoil it massively for you, but there's a scene where there's a group where the villain is stood with a hood up, and it very much it kind of had that kind of like ritualistic vibe to it. It's a comedy. But yeah, it's a very amusing film. I haven't watched it in a while.
Check that out.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh! Vaguely remember seeing this in the trailers, but it's still quite awesome to see. Oh, are we literally plucking a star? We have a moon rock. Right, let's go see some witches about a skull. Eva has just said, take note, do not trade the key. I mean, yeah. Eva's also asked, what is the approximate length of the game?
Well, it depends on how stumped you get by any of the puzzles, of course, but I will say you are not super far from the end, so it is a pretty short game. But hope it's a good experience nonetheless.
We also just definitely upset the witches by offering them a piece of the moon, and apparently the moon is their mother, so we're now in trouble with the witches, so we're just going to casually wander away. Mr. Owl is just wishing us luck. Eva's really impressed with the heron, with that neckline.
It's a deceivingly long neck.
It is a very long neck. Editor Callie has said, really, really happy with liking short game.
Oh, nice.
Low attention span and loving mythical things, so this is like the perfect type of game. It feels a bit pagan. Oh my god, that's brilliant.
Having to write the dialogue for every character rejecting the items that they're not supposed to take was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, I bet. I think as well, it kind of gives you that opportunity to be a little bit more kind of comedic with some of the responses and stuff, even if they're quite a serious type character. Like when I offered the witches that moon rock, they were absolutely appalled. I was like, oh, I've actually made enemies of the witches now. Alright, well, the mouse is having none of the whole. Callie said go and see the ranger. I'm going to see if I can get some pizza from Chris. Yes, we are going to call it up. You shouldn't be tagging out here. Okay, why do we not? Vaguely remember us talking about Chris as a character back in the autumn. That was ages ago. Alex has asked, does everything serve a purpose to getting to the end game, or are there side things that could be missed?
So all of the items are vital, all of the trades. There's definitely lots of little dialogue things and other just little small things that you might not find. I would definitely recommend checking the achievements because I kind of use the achievements as a way to hint to people about features that I was afraid no one would find otherwise. But yeah, all of the items are necessary. You have traded with the rat.
I have traded with the rat. And I'm now in the Crowbar, which is an amazing name for a bar. Absolutely great name.
Favorite part of the game right here.
I'm loving the little kind of funky goth jazz that's going on, and that's what I'm going to call this particular type of music. If you've got a problem with that, let me know in the comments. Yeah, it's kind of cool, funky goth jazz. Crow jazz. There we go, crow jazz. Hello, Rodney. Oh, Rodney is absolutely mullered. Sandra in the chat just said, I love this bar. I want to drink a lot at this bar.
I wish I could go drinking with crows in real life, honestly. They seem like fun guys.
These crows seem awesome. I like the fact there's one smoking a cigar on the right hand side. There's one with a little slider, one with a martini.
I had way too much fun with this.
Oh my god, it's called a feather. Oh, that's great. That is
Thank
brilliant.
you.
The puns in this are just first class.
I had so much fun with that. In my first pass through the game, I did not put a lot of effort into the dialogue. It was all very transactional, like, I need this. Okay, you can have this. And I, obviously I wanted the game to have a fun personality, so I took a second pass through and just developed all of the personalities for all of the characters, and that was really one of the funnest parts.
Absolutely. That's really awesome, actually, and it's quite nice to kind of see, because I remember when we spoke, and having seen all the kind of little development bits that popped up on Twitter and stuff, it's really nice to be able to kind of properly interact with these characters now. And the dialogue is really well written, and it's kind of, each character is distinctly different, which is really nice, because there are some games out there, and I'm talking big game, I'm talking about small indie games, I'm talking about big games, big AAA games, where you walk into a city and you hear, I took an arrow to a knee 300 times in the space of 10 minutes. Which we love. We love the arrow to a knee. It's spawned an entire generation of memes. But yeah, it's really nice to see some really personalized dialogue. And even Mike is another crow, and he's just a completely different type of crow. It's absolutely chuffed to bits that he's now got a moon rock. Can we talk to the one having a smoke? Dylan looks absolutely completely traumatized and shocked by the fact that this crow is just alright, love, with a cigar. Can we do anything?
What's going on here?
Oh, we can change the music in the crowbar. We did just lose the crow jazz though. And you wrote every single piece of music in this. Does the jukebox have all of the different tracks from the game in it?
Oh, that's a good idea. No, I wrote 3 songs that were just, there's 3 songs on the jukebox, and that's the only place you can hear them in the game. But yeah, it'd be fun if you could cycle through all of the music in the game. That's a great idea.
I'm just listening to this piece of music. It's just really nice, kind of runs on the keyboard and stuff.
Big props to arpeggiators in GarageBand.
Oh yes,
yeah.
I love an arpeggiator. Push your starting note and then just literally have it do it for you.
It's a great crutch for the newbie game composer or music composer.
I also think we've just bought on the crow version of Sweet Caroline by the sounds of it. As they're all singing along. This is great. This is so cool. This is brilliant.
Thank you.
Oh, okay, no, he hates the song. Oh no, the crows are angry with me. I'm playing the bad music.
I decided early on, I was I want there to be one song that everybody hates, and then it was a challenge to figure out I need to write a song that is bad on purpose.
Yep.
I was Googling what's that instrument that makes a boing sound?
Sorry, halfway through you talking I started laughing because I just walked over to a crow and just what is this shit ass music? And I was just oh, I've said that so many times in my life. Back to funky crow jazz. Oh. And we're just gonna leave you with the crowbar, I think, because it's 8 o'clock. That is a small chunk or an hour of Witchhazel Woods, which is amazing. I genuinely cannot recommend this game enough. I said back in the autumn I was really excited for this game, Rachel, and now that I've actually got to sit here and play this, I just love it. It is. Thank
you so much.
Brilliant. It's got nice quirky humor, it's got intrigue, it's got tension. I absolutely love it. And And if you are sitting here looking at this, watching this video and thinking, oh my god, I love this game, as Callie has just said it in the chat, there is a link to the Steam page for this game in the description. So go and check it out. Go and support this amazing developer who is floating there, because this was a solo project, and it's absolutely amazing. And Rachel, thank you so much for coming on and sitting with me and chatting whilst we play through this.
Thank you so much, and thank you to everybody from Robot Republic for all of the support that you guys have shown me throughout the development process and the release. You guys are awesome, and it was really fun to join you here today.
Our pleasure, and we can't wait to see what comes next, because I cannot imagine this will be the one and only.
Yeah, who knows? I definitely need a break, but I have enjoyed the game dev hobby, and I could definitely see myself making another in the future, so we'll see.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much to everyone for joining us. A huge thank you, like I just said, to Rachel up there. And you know, if you like this video, please do hit that like button. It is genuinely, for us as a company, it's really lovely to have people that we've interviewed coming back onto the show to sit and answer your questions in the chat whilst we play through some of their games. So yeah, please do like and subscribe, and check out. We've got content coming out nearly every single day. And like I said, go and hit that Steam link and go and get this game, because it is absolutely brilliant. And yeah, it's a goodbye from me when I get my mouse cursor, and a goodbye from Rachel.
Bye folks, thank you.
And we'll see you next time, guys. Bye.